Hello and welcome to the tower. Here we are again to speak about technology and to speak about innovation. It's now 2 o'clock. It's 2 minutes past 2 in New York. It depends on where you are. You will be watching this video in the noon, in the evening. Anyway, it will be recorded and available for anyone who cannot attend this session today, but I recommend that you listen this whole video today. We are going to speak about a very interesting and hot topic. We are going to explain what is virtual reality, what is augmented reality, what is mixed reality, what is extended reality. It's something that we hear everywhere, in media, speaking with friends, at work, etc., etc. So what is exactly all these words and what do they mean to us? What will they bring to our society in the next months and in the next years, and what are they bringing already? Here today we are going to speak from the tower about technology. And first of all, I want to recommend and I want to ask you, in fact, that you subscribe to this channel. It's very easy and it's going to help us grow and to build a community interested in such interesting topics, and I will be more enthusiastic to prepare more videos in the next weeks. For the records, the next week we will speak about another very hot topic. You may have heard about it already. It's digital twins. Many people are speaking about digital twins, but I have realized that almost 90 or 95% of the times this expression, this term is used wrongly. So next Friday we will speak about digital twins, but for the moment let's speak about virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, and extended reality. We are going to start with a very famous picture. You can find this picture, this figure, in many papers and some books about virtual reality. It's called the reality virtuality continuum. What is this? It's a line where you have the real environment on the left side, on the left end, and the virtual environment on the right end. The real environment is what you feel and what you see and what you hear around you. So it's clear what is a real environment, is what we feel through our senses. And the virtual environment is an environment that is completely artificial. Okay, so it's computer designed. It's fake images, fake noise or sound, fake feelings. So everything is artificial. Okay, in the middle we can move from having a 100% real world to having 100% virtual world, and we will see how this space can provide a lot of interesting applications and a lot of interesting technologies and devices that are related with augmented reality, with mixed reality, etc., etc. Okay, so let's start with virtual reality. What is virtual reality? Virtual reality is a software, so it's an application, it's a design, is something that you can run on a digital device, that replaces the real world. So it's a three-dimensional illusion that makes you feel there, it makes you feel in a different world, in a different space, but everything is artificial. So you disconnect from your physical realities at some point, and you connect with a virtual world. So the idea behind virtual reality is very simple. If you think of games, video games, okay? So a video game, you put your glasses, your 3D glasses, your virtual reality glasses on, and then everything else disappears and you only see the game. This is virtual reality. It's very simple to understand. Virtual reality, however, may replicate a physical environment. So maybe you can go to a tourist attraction in some different city using virtual reality. So it's something that is real, so real pictures and real videos, real images, moving images from something that is being recorded maybe in real time, or is recorded and it's stored in any data repository, but you see it in a different place, so you are not there. So everything about that is virtual reality. Virtual reality allows interaction, okay? So you can do some things. You can look right, look left, you can even in such words, for example, think about video games. You can fire a gun, you can kill an enemy, you can do a lot of things. You can interact with the virtual world, okay? And it's always for the moment is required to have virtual glasses to enter such virtual world. Okay. Let's see some pictures. You may have imagined what I was speaking of when I referred to virtual reality, but virtual reality has this typical appealing. Okay. What applications can virtual reality have? Virtual reality can have much more applications beyond gaming. Okay, so you can, as I said before, you can use virtual reality to visit places or spaces, and even the space. You can travel to the moon or to Mars using virtual reality. You can travel to spaces that no longer exist. For example, the Titanic. For example, you can visit the ancient Rome. Everything is possible in virtual reality because it's made as an animation, as a movie, if you may. And it can only, and it's also used already in immersive training. For example, think of Microsoft Simulator. Microsoft Simulator replicates the whole world in a 3D virtual space, so pilots or maybe gamers can get trained or can play using a plane in this virtual world. And there are even replicas of the cockpit of specific planes to get trained on this aircraft and using all the virtual environment around you. Okay, so it can have military applications. It can also be used. Virtual reality can also be used for driving experience, driving cars, and many other training applications. It can also be used for socializing. You remember, you may have seen some pictures, some screenshots of, or maybe you have used the Meta application, Meta app from Meta, from the former Facebook company. And there you have avatars, you have virtual people speaking with each other, and one of these virtual person is you. So you can speak and you can interact with other people using a virtual world. So none of you see your real ones. You see avatars of other people, but you can interact, you can share things, you can show pictures, you can even speak or whatever. Okay, and of course for marketing and e-commerce, it's obvious that you can do a lot of things in this virtual space and have additional experiences to your customers or your users. Regarding devices, virtual reality has a lot of devices. There are already in the market a lot of devices to use virtual reality, to access virtual reality. Okay, so the most famous one probably is the one on the top right corner of the slide, is the Oculus Quest. Now it's called Meta Quest. The company was acquired by Meta. This company also has the Oculus Rift, so it's another higher end device. They are very famous. Probably it depends on the time when you're seeing this video, but for the moment, let's say that you can buy one of these glasses between $450 or $500 something dollars. And also, of course, Sony has its own virtual reality glasses for the PlayStation games. And one interesting, I wanted to highlight only the most famous devices here, but as I said, if you go to Amazon, there will be a bunch of glasses, maybe white brand, low quality, high quality, different models. But one that is very famous is the HTC Vive. It's a serious competitor for Oculus, because HTC use an open ecosystem and let developers provide applications in an open marketplace. So it's having a lot of interest among the virtual reality community of users, mostly gamers. Okay, and finally, I wanted to put here the Google Cardboard. Is a very low quality, very low end glasses for accessing virtual reality. It's just a card box. It's a structure made that you assemble. It has two lenses, as you can see there, and you put your your smartphone in between, and then you install an application in the smartphone. The display splits in two, and it gives you two pictures, one for each eye, to see virtual reality in a 3D space. It's very low quality, and it's not a rich experience for sure, but it's probably $10-20, so it's very cheap in the whole meaning. Okay, let's move on to augmented reality. Okay, augmented reality is something much more promising. It's less, we can say it's less developed at the moment, much less developed than virtual reality. And augmented reality, it's about having a real environment using some kind of device, normally transparent device, that overlaps some information, objects, whatever, digital content, as an overlay of the physical world. So you can see some digital content, for example, giving extra information about one place. When you look with your camera, with the camera in your smartphone, or you can access real-time data of this object or this place or whatever. It can be accessed as I said before, using a smartphone or a tablet, or there are specific glasses, transparent glasses, we will see them later, that give you this overlap, and you don't need to use an extra. You have something in your hand. You can have a smart glass to access augmented reality. Let's see some kinds of augmented reality that you may have already experienced. So the one that everyone knows is quite old, is Pokemon Go. You have it on the lower right picture. So Pokemon Go just put some Pokemon, some these animals in some places, in some specific physical places, we can say that. Okay, so you go with your smartphone and you look for Pokemon. Where is a Pokemon? It's in a park, it's in a road, it's in the middle of the street, and you have to catch each Pokemon to earn points. So this is this is an example of augmented reality. So we are using the physical space, but we are adding digital objects on top of that, and they are related. So if you move your camera, you move your point of view, everything moves. So the digital content is a reference to the physical space. Okay. The same happens in the upper right. You have a filter that is provided by Zoom application, so you can experience it. If you haven't experienced filters yet, you can enable them very easily, and you can see yourself with a helmet, with a Viking helmet or whatever, with different kind of accessories, hats, etc. This is something that is, again, is a virtual object that is overlaid on top of a physical element of the environment. In this case, your head. Okay, and the one on the right side is typical when you go to furniture stores, or even Apple has this kind of features to put a virtual Mac or a virtual computer or whatever accessory, or you can put a couch or a chair or whatever on your very room. Okay, so everything is real, but this furniture is a digital object, so it's on top of, it's overlaid on the real scene, and you can move and you can watch it from different angles, etc. etc. Okay, this is the architecture of an AR system. I just wanted to put this slide, not to bother you because it's too complex, but just to highlight what is in the middle. You can see in the middle a vision engine and a 3D rendering engine. So what happens and why augmented reality is really difficult to build, to produce? Because in virtual reality, you just have the 3D, the right side, okay, the 3D rendering engine. You render, you produce anything that is completely invented, okay? So you are free to do, to create everything. When you move to augmented reality, you need a vision engine. That is, you need the computer, the smartphone, the glasses, the smart glasses, whatever. You need that the digital device include at least a camera and some sensors, probably GPS, probably some gyroscopes, etc., to understand and read the real environment. Why? Because digital objects are overlapped on the physical world. So you need to capture and understand the physical world. You need artificial vision in augmented reality, and this is something really challenging in terms of computing power, in terms of software development. So this is the reason why augmented reality is more advanced than virtual reality. And another interesting point is that we have different types of augmented reality based on the displaying technology. Okay, so here you have optical see-through, the first one. So the first one is obvious. Okay, so you put on a glass, you put on your smart glasses, or you switch on your camera in your smartphone, and then you can see through your camera. Okay, so the first one is optical see-through, is normally smart glasses or any kind of transparent glass that lets you see through. Okay, then number two is a video see-through. Okay, so it can be a virtual reality glasses plus a camera, or it can be your smartphone. So your smartphone is capturing the reality, the physical reality, through a camera, and then replicates it on the screen and adding the digital content. So this is the second option, but there are some other options probably that you may have heard much less. The third one is what is called the virtual retinal displays. What is that? Okay, here you have a picture of a VRD glasses that directly draws the digital objects in your retina, in your eyes. So it's a laser, like a laser pointer, directly activating your retina with the laser firing. So it's something in a very early stage of research and development, but it's a technology that, who knows, probably in the future we don't need glasses, we will need a specific device that fires a laser light in our eyes and displays and draws and puts some images directly inside our eyes. The fourth type is the monitor-based AR. So this is something you may have seen that when you visit your doctor. So probably the doctor has a monitor drawing things that on the model of your body. Okay, so it's like a mix. It's very similar to number two. So it's like video see-through, but it's not. In video see-through, you are directly pointing. You switch on your phone, and you are directly pointing to the scene, and then you are receiving exactly that through a camera. In this monitor-based augmented reality, the camera may be inside your body in any position, and the doctor is just looking at a display, a monitor in a different direction, and is doing different things. So it's more like virtual reality in the terms that the camera is completely disconnected, so you are watching something that is completely disconnected from your position, from where you're looking. So you're looking at always a monitor, a display, but it's not virtual reality because there is a camera inside your body, for example, recording and broadcasting the pictures, the images to that monitor in real time. So you are watching the reality, the physical reality, and on top of that, some virtual elements, for example, a measure, a number, a reference, a cross, or here we can see a virtual part of your body completely overlapped on the physical image in number 4. And the final type of augmented reality, I'm sure that you have seen that at some point in your life, is what is based in a projector or a laser, and it's used in, for example, in mappings in buildings. You have it on the right picture, or you can have the head-up display in the car, where some lights is projected to enrich the reality that you are watching through the glass shield in your car. Okay. Let's speak about devices. Here we have much less devices. These are the most famous ones and 2 commercial devices. They are not cheap at all, so prepare to spend over $1,000 if you want to buy one of these devices. And as you can see, they are transparent glasses with some additional digital equipment to overlap or provide overlaid virtual images on the glass. And now let's move to mixed reality. Mixed reality is something that I want to show you today. Mixed reality, let me do a little break here, because mixed reality is going to transform the world that we know. And many people don't know exactly what mixed reality means. Mixed reality, let me show you something to better understand mixed reality. We have virtual objects produced typically in virtual reality. We have real environment, normally frequent, present, always present in augmented reality. We have real time, always, don't forget that we are working real time. So you put on your glasses or you use your device and you move, and you're free to experience that in real time. But what is new in mixed reality is that we have virtual real interaction. What is that? Virtual real interaction means that the real world, the physical world, is interacting with the digital world, with the digital objects, and vice versa. Here you can see some, let me put them full screen. For example, on the left, we have a robot, an industrial robotic arm, and we have a virtual dashboard in our glasses showing and letting us manage the robot. So the robot is physical, the robot is real, is doing something in a factory, but you don't use buttons, or you are not using a keyboard, or even you are not using an application, an app in your smartphone. You are just moving your hands and doing things with these virtual elements, like the famous pictures in Minority Report, to manage the robot. The same is on the right side. We have, for example, a student that is understanding how engines work. Okay, so the engine is completely virtual, but this person can move the engine. So when he moves, he does some gestures, he grabs the engine and rotates it, the engine reacts. So there is a physical reality engaging and interacting with the digital world. And the third one can be like, let me put it in full screen because my picture is overlapping the most important point. This is something like Pokemon Go, but in this case, so it's a game where you have an animal that is jumping, or this, I don't know if it's an animal or it's a cartoon picture, but a cartoon character is jumping from a real chair. So you see the chair, this character is jumping from that real chair and hunting coins or something like that, that are, the coins are bumping and are reacting to the table and the player. So everything seems in a single scene. Okay, so the digital objects are reacting to the physical worlds, to the table, to the chair, to the player, but they are not there. So if you put off your glasses, you don't see a thing. And this is what is promising about mixed reality, because it will transform a lot of industries and a lot of our experience with things. The difference, as a summary of what we have seen, is that virtual reality is 100% digital. Okay, our augmented reality is digital content overlapped on top of the real world, and mixed reality is digital content interacting with the physical world. So let's move to the next slide and finalize this video with extended reality. Extended reality is one funny concept, because I have read a lot of extended reality that is not extended reality. So many people, and let me put this slide, because many people call extended reality to everything. So it's and even in literature, you can find many people saying that extended reality is what is beyond reality. So everything is extended reality: virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality. Everything is extended reality. Technically speaking, it's not. Okay, extended reality, sometimes, by the way, it's called cross reality by some authors, but there is some additional need to properly call extended reality a technology or an application. And you can see it here. You need photorealism, you need haptics, and you need probably artificial intelligence, and you will have a lot of additional features to achieve extended reality. The idea is that extended reality is what we plan to develop in the next years. It's not what we have today. Okay, we have words for that. We have virtual reality, we have augmented reality, we have mixed reality, but extended reality is an immersive experience that is fully realistic. Okay, so you see digital objects, but you don't recognize them as digital objects on top of a physical world. Okay, it's everything is blurred. You have an experience of a true reality, and this is the meaning. Extended reality is that you extend the reality. It's not that you put a red circle over a screen. It's augmented reality. It's not that you provide virtual reality. Virtual reality is not extended reality at all. Okay, the adding of all technologies plus the evolution of these technologies to make them photorealistic, to avoid latency. Latency is, for example, if you move your head, the virtual things, the virtual object will react in real time. They won't be delayed. So you look at the table, you look at a table, and then the object moves 1/10 of a second later. That is not extended reality. That is something that we want to build, but is not. We detect at the very first moment that this is not real. It's a fake. Okay, it's a digital object. And why it is XR, extended reality, important? Let me remove myself from the screen, because it's the door to the metaverse, to the true metaverse. And we will speak about the metaverse later in a future video. I'm sure I want to speak about the metaverse in a future video, because among other reasons, I'm going to be one of the first authors worldwide to publish, to get a book published specifically about the metaverse. But it's probably the main door to the metaverse. We will build a lot of services, a lot of applications, a lot of experiences once we have XR, once we have extended reality. What can be done with XR? And here I have included some ideas that we will find in the next months and years in the market. We can use XR for visualization. So we have the possibility to enlarge micro things to see them better and experience them like as if they were our size. We can look inside our body, for example. We can we can move faster or slower the reality to better understand it. For example, if we want to understand how a crash, for example, is being produced, we can do a slower version of that crash, speaking, for example, in industry or a movement or whatever, or we can speed it up to understand, for example, the weather, the sea, whatever, a lot of things in nature. So visualization will change. We will be able to better understand the physical reality by adding different applications and ideas to provide extra visualization beyond our senses. And visualization is not only referred to visual, it's also referred to noise or to sound or this different sensing experience. Another opportunity that we will see thanks to XR is interactivity. We will be able probably I'm optimistic, but no super optimistic about this. I think gestures will become more frequent in the next months and especially years, and we will get rid of keyboards and thumbing the smartphone, because the system will understand what we do with our hand, and we will provide symbols with our hand, or even natural language processing. For example, we will be able to speak to machines fluently and with very complex sentences, and they will react accurately. It's not the case today, but it will be probably in the short medium term. And additional possibilities for extended reality is that it will make environments safer, especially for difficult environments. We can see some examples here of hazardous operations, flying a plane, fighting a fire, working with high voltage equipment. So risky things will get much less riskier if we add this extended reality, and we are able to understand reality much better and probably at a higher distance than today. And also about accessibility. Okay, accessibility is a very important field because a lot of funding is devoted to improving accessibility for people that may have some kind of disability, or people that are in a remote area with limited access to specific resources, or people that have some special limitations, even if they are temporary because they are ill or whatever. So accessibility is going to move a lot of money in the field of extended reality in the next years. We will see things that will help these people, and then they will evolve and be deployed massively to the general public with other purposes or other applications. And also of course for remote collaboration. So we use video conferencing when we work remotely. We do some playing interaction on a display. In the future we will do a real remote collaboration. In some cases we will not be able, probably in the future, in some years, 5-10 years, we will not be able to recognize if a person is there or not, unless we remove our glasses and obviously the person disappears. But the interaction to collaborate in the different fields will be so real that it will be very difficult to analyze or to realize if this person is there or not physically. And also recordings. Of course, we are producing data today at huge amounts of data per second, and with this three-dimensional virtual world overlapped information on the physical world, there will be much more information stored online, and there will be additional applications for that. For example, if you go to a specific shop, you will be able to see about a product reviews on the go. So you put on your glasses, you grab a bottle of whatever, and then a wine bottle, for example, and then you will see all the reviews jumping out the bottle on the side, and you may be able to interact and say, okay, tell me more about this, tell me where is there an offer in the next shop, is there a sale, whatever. This kind of things will be able, thanks to the recording of all the generated data around extended reality. And finally, this is something that we'll probably speak of in a future video. I think it's very interesting what is being developed in terms of haptics. Haptics means the possibility to use touch to interact with machines. Okay, so you will feel pressure in your hand, in your fingers, maybe in your arm, in your body. You will feel temperature, you will feel pain, you will feel textures, you can feel different things with the appropriate devices, and this will be integrated with extended reality, of course, to give you that sense of physical space that is merged with the virtual space, but you don't recognize what is physical and what is not. So what is real and what is there is only digital. And this has to be made using haptics technology. Now it is in a very, very early stage, but there are some commercial applications and some commercial devices, and for this reason I think it's interesting to speak about haptics in a future video. And this is everything for today. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I hope that you can contact me. If you have any question and you are not today here, you can contact me and write here to my URL to my website. Also, you can contact me on Twitter here, and I'll be glad to hear you. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. The Tower is for you. The Tower is an initiative that is intended to promote technology for everything, for everybody, and the Tower is eager to hear you. So if you are somebody that can tell anything to the community, please contact me and we will arrange an interview in future videos. So this is the purpose of this channel. There will be some videos like this one only delivered by me, but there will be some other videos in the future, I hope very soon, about interviews with relevant people that have something to say to the community. Nothing else for today. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, to give a like to the video, and help us grow our community in the Tower. See you the next Friday at 2 p.m. in East Coast time, 11 a.m. Pacific time, is 7 p.m. in the UK and 8 p.m. in the rest of Europe, in Central Europe. Thank you for watching and see you next Friday. We will speak about digital twins. Don't forget about it. It will be a very hot topic and you will discover a lot of things that you had never heard before about. Goodbye and have a very good weekend.